Stephen and Helen Anderson started Healing Rooms in 2004, but Healing Rooms in Scotland is part of an international association of Healing Rooms. And Stephen always had a heart for releasing healing. We need to release healing as a sign of the kingdom. The kingdom is the rule and reign of Jesus, and so healing is showing that manifesting in the earth. And so Stephen always had a heart for seeing that happen. And then he heard about Healing Rooms, and it just clicked with him. And he just went, yeah, I believe this is something that really, it's a great vehicle for being able to take the wonder-working power of God out, and for people to easily encounter Jesus and encounter that.
Yeah.
It's just been slowly building, and we've seen small signs of breakthrough. Great, and we had one lady who came initially for prayer for depression. She had postnatal depression, and we didn't know she got healed until 6 months later, when a friend of hers got sent along to Healing Rooms. Often we don't hear about people getting healed, because if people get healed, they don't often come back because they don't need to. So her friend came back and went, that was great news. And then she herself came back a year later, because she'd always struggled with pain in her hips, like all of her life. And she now had a toddler, and she was struggling to play with the toddler on the ground and stuff like that. So we're praying for her, and somebody just said, I think cartilage is missing. So we just, in faith, just spoke cartilage into her joints. And she testified the following week after that. She came back and testified that when that happened, she felt a twinge happen in her body, and the pain all left. And that was amazing. That was just a miracle. Wonderful. But we've seen lots of people just slowly, come week after week and slowly get better. And then after, a couple of months, we had one lady come, and after a couple of months, she just said, I haven't felt this good in 25 years. So it's both instant and progressive healing we've seen in different ways. We had one lady come in who needed oxygen every day, and she barely came into the rooms. The doctor said, we can't do anything, your lungs are just, can't do anything for you, sorry, you just have to use oxygen for the rest of your life unless we can get a lung transplant. She came to Healing Rooms and just had an encounter with God and walked out not needing oxygen. We've also we give away prayer cloths. Acts 19, it says that handkerchiefs and aprons were taken from Paul and taken to people, and extraordinary miracles were done. I'd love to see some extraordinary miracles. I love the ordinary miracles. I'm not sure what extraordinary means, but they sound like good. But we've had some extraordinary miracles happen through the prayer cloths. A child with a hole in their heart, the consultant said, we'll have to wait till they're older before we can operate and stuff like that. Got a prayer cloth. The consultant said, I don't know what's happened to him. The hole's gone. The child was healed. Other ones, a lady who had cancer, in excruciating pain, got a prayer cloth. The next day, phoned up her mum and said the pain was reduced by 70% overnight.
Wow.
Just like that. Yes, we've taken it out in the streets, and we've also taken it to a church on the Royal Mile, St Columba's Free Church. We did that last year. There's lots of things happen during the sort of tourist time in the summer in this church. They open up during the day. And so we had some people come in and receive prayer for healing, and just tourists and local people, and that was great. We're also involved with Light and Life when they do events in Edinburgh. This week we're going to Leith Gala Day, and last year we saw 70 people come through the tent. One person with a walking stick walking away, not needing the walking stick afterwards. And just amazing things happening. I believe why we don't see as much healing is because we don't have an understanding or a belief that is God wants to heal. Matthew 8:17 quotes from Isaiah 53, saying that these things were done. This is just after Jesus healed lots of people. It says that all were healed, and this was done to fulfill the scriptures that said He took our sicknesses and He took our diseases. And I think a lot of the people in the church don't have an understanding that that's what God did. When Jesus, was whipped, it says in Isaiah 53, He was whipped for our sicknesses and our diseases. And so belief is an important aspect, and having a revelation. In my own life, I didn't believe that, but slowly had a revelation, and I think that's as our mind gets renewed and we have a revelation that it is. Belief is an important aspect of things. Without faith we can't please God, and we have to have a faith and a belief that this is God's will. That's why the testimonies are so important, the stories of what God has done. Revelations 19 says that the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. And what that's saying is when we testify or share the stories of what Jesus did or is doing today, we're speaking forth that He will do it again. God is not a respecter of persons. He sees everybody the same. So that means if He heals one person, He'll heal another person. And so we need to know that is what God wants to do.